Because a lot of you have let me know that when you try the Ducunu recipe that I have at the site already, that your Ducunu is not coming out the way you like it, I've decided to do Ducunu redo. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Okay, so please accommodate for Diamond today. She's kind of rambunctious and just making herself known. Anyways, I know usually I start the show by showing you all the ingredients that's going to go in the item, but today I'm not doing that. I want to show you all these cans of corn. This first one right here is called cream style golden corn. This is the only one that we wouldn't use to make Ducunu. I know some people that will put 1 can of this to kind of sweeten the Ducunu, so it won't harm it, but for me, I don't want to put this one in. What I'll do is make another recipe with this to show you something that we used to do with this in Belize, all right? So let me set that aside. So the recipe calls for 4 cans of the kernel corn. This one is called super sweet golden corn. And there's nothing wrong with using it. The kernels are a little bit bigger in this, but it's fine. You can totally use this if that's what you got, okay? This one's called sweet golden corn. So this one is what? Super sweet, and this one's sweet. And I've tasted each and every one of them, and they're all sweet to a degree, okay? Let me get my little spoon. This is the difference that I've noticed with this one. The kernels are way, way smaller than this one right here. So, but that's not wrong either. And then here we have, this is the one that I put in the book, the whole kernel corn. And so see how it looks? It's not too much different than this. But this one says no salt added, okay? We don't want any salt added to it because we want this meal to be kind of sweet. Not sweet like a dessert, but sweet like if you're eating a sweet and sour meal. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to use these 2 cans. I'm going to use this one, and I have another one that's just like that. And this is the 4 cans that I'm going to be using to, these are the 4 cans that I'm going to be using to make the Ducunu. I have my magic bullet thing here. I'm going to be dumping them one at a time into the magic bullet cup, and I'm going to be blending it really well. If you don't have a magic bullet, you can use a blender. Let me set that aside really quick to show you the other ingredients. This is the point that I'll show you the other ingredients now. Here's 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. You can always half the black pepper so that the Ducunu is more sweet. And this is half a teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda. I've got my box of cornmeal mix here. I've got 2 of them because this is almost done. And it's also called harina de maíz, which is flour of corn, I guess, with a little Spanish that I know. And 1 whole can of coconut milk. And so let me show you, like this one right here tends to have a little bit less juice or water that it's packed in than this one right there. Now, it's not too much less, but we want to accommodate for that, okay? So let me go ahead and get this all grounded up or grind it up, whichever the word is. And then we're going to put it in this bowl. We're going to add all of our other ingredients, all right? So as you can see, there's a lot of different corn in the can that you can choose from. None of them is really wrong except for the cream style one. If you're gonna put that in your Ducunu, you might only want to trade out 1 can for that kind, okay? So that took all of about 2 to 3 minutes. And I just used my magic bullet to blend the corn from the can really, really well. And as you guys can imagine, if you were doing like corn on the cob and you were grating it, then it totally would not have all this fluid to it. Okay? See how liquidy this is already? So let me add the 1 can of coconut milk. See, even more liquid. The 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and you know what? I forgot to let you guys know there was some shortening. Let me go check my book. And like I told you guys, I always check the book because right when you start assuming that you know the recipe, you mess something up. So yeah, there's a 1/4 cup of shortening that I'm going to measure out right now and nuke it in the microwave so it becomes liquid. I'm going to add it to this, and when I come back, I'm going to show that I'm adding that, and that I'm also going to be adding the cornmeal mix. The recipe calls for 6 cups, but I think I may have been remiss the first time that I made it for the show because I think we could have done with less than 6 cups, okay? So what I want to do when I'm adding the cornmeal mix, I want to add 1 cup at a time, and we're going to keep stirring like this, and I'm going to show the consistency that it has to be in order to make the Ducunu set, to make it form. And then if you put more, then it's more drier, less, you know, less firm, more firm, so on and so on. So let me get my shortening and get my measuring cup so we can start measuring out the cornmeal mix. So I'm back and I'm pouring in that 1/4 cup. I want it to slip from me, it's hot. I nuked it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And you guys know that a 1/4 cup is the same as 1/4 cup, right? Because that's the way I hear Jada say it. I don't know if it's a new way they're teaching to say it in school, but we're used to saying 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, 3/4 cups. They're used to saying 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. So I have a cup of the cornmeal mix. Remember the recipe calls for 6, but I think we're going to be using less because we're trying to perfect what's going on. So that's 1. And every time I add 1, I'm just going to mix it in well. I know this could get a little bit lengthy for the video, but I want us to not pause the camera because I want to be able to see how much we really need, okay? Keep in mind that we can make mistakes. So here we are, that's another cup, that's 2. Okay. So, and there goes Diamond again. She's just really feisty today. I don't know what's going on. It's a nice warm day in Southern California today. And so I guess everybody's all worked up. That's number 3. You can see it's getting thicker already. And I know that I'm going to need more though. It's not thick enough. We want to get it like kind of like oatmeal. But I do realize that some people's oatmeal are thicker than other people's oatmeal. See how that's looking? So that's 3. Are you guys keeping count with me? So here I am, number 4. So there's 4 cups already. And my cups are not really to the rim. They're like right there to that mark. So they're not overflowing, okay? When you're doing it, it's getting really thicker now, you guys. I am thinking that we could probably live with 1 whole cup less than what we did the last time, so that this Ducunu can come out more gelatinous, less dry, all right? So that's cup number 5. So I'm going to stir it in really well. I think this is enough. I really do think this is enough. If I were doing it for me, because of the way we like it, the more drier, so we could douse it good with gravy, I would put that extra cup. But for right now, 5 cups is fine. See? It's really not too thick. And right now I'm using the slotted spoon, but this is not what you want to use when you start plopping it on the either the corn husk leaf or the aluminum foil. And of course, you know, I'm going to use foil because I do everything easy. I try not to make life too hard for me. Work is hard enough. You know, when we're at that shop, we work so hard that sometimes when you want to come home, and tomorrow we're going to be doing a barbecue. So this will go well with a barbecue. This will go well as a side dish. So let me get my proper spoon. Let me get a few sheets of silver foil or aluminum foil. Let me pour the rest of that shortening in there. Nothing goes to waste. And then we're going to start rolling them off to put them in our pot, okay? So moving right along, I've got a piece of, we call it silver foil in Belize, okay? So, but I know in America it's aluminum foil. And I didn't try to measure it, you know, exact, but it's 12 by 12. So those are the kind of pieces you want, more or less. This serving spoon, let me show you, or ladle or whatever this is a whole cup, all right? That's the serving size. So we kind of want to go ahead and put it there. And actually you could put a little bit more, so if I had full this cup to the rim. And so what I do, and you got to move kind of fast, and don't worry if you get mess on the counter, right? There's no harm in that. But I fold it that way, and the minute I get it there, I do this, so I don't have a mess going on. See, it's a little bit more juicy than the other one that I did. And then what you want to do is kind of have your rag right here to clean up whatever mess. So you could go to the next one. I've got like a few pieces off already. And then get your serving ladle or your serving spoon, whatever it is. If you don't have one of these, use a measuring cup. Do like a cup. So you can get the same size Ducunu for everybody, right? Especially if you want to sell Ducunu for a living. You kind of want all of them to be the same size, so I would measure with that. You kind of want to do that, so just move kind of fast. So this is all I'm going to do for the duration. I'm going to put the camera on pause. And this is all I'm doing. Clean that off if that's messy. And again, show you one more time how it's done. Hold it like that. And then the ends in. Tight, okay? I'm going to set them all aside till we move them over to the stove. I'm going to show you two different ways that I'm going to be cooking them. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can cook the Ducunu. You can submerge it in water and boil it like I always do, or you can set it to where it can steam with some water, okay? Either way, it'll take the same length of time to cook. So first of all, let me show this to you. See, this is one of these steamer double broiler type pots. See, I have water in there. This is one of my good pot sets that I bought from Costco years ago. So I'm going to put some of the Ducunu in here. I'm going to do like 3. I could put more, but I'm going to do like 3 so we can know which 3 those are, okay? I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to start the fire and keep it on high. And it's actually just going to steam as a way of cooking, all right? So here's my other pot. I'm going to put all the other Ducunus in that pot, and they're going to be submerged in water. And then we're going to time it to make sure that they both cook the same length of time. So there we are. Both pots are on the stove filled with the Ducunu. I think I got like 12 or 13 in there, and I got 3 here. And I started the fires at the same time. The heat is on high. So let me show you what I discovered. It's right about an hour for both pots. Let me take this out. See? My water cooked out of the pot. It was going to start burning if I wasn't checking on it and paying attention. So let me get this lid off. I'm going to get one out. Put it on this yellow plate. And then I'm going to get one from the other pot. Let me get my thumbs. Here's my other pot. I'm going to get one from here. It's just literally just, the fire's just literally been shut off, all right? So here, let's set it here. And let's see if I can go ahead and open both of them and see how they look right at the finish point. They don't even have time to cool down. Okay, so I'm opening it with a kitchen towel. Oh, these are the ugly ones, but I like these because they really absorb moisture really good. Really well, I should say. This is the steamed one. And I can already tell you guys that it looks way more moist than when we did it the first time, see? That's the steam one. And then this is the other one. Hot. Hot, you guys. Trying to get it open. This is the one that was submerged in the water. Let's see if it makes a difference. It certainly didn't make a difference with the cooking time. Hot. See what I go through for you guys? That's my other camera beeping off. Okay, look at this one. I think I like the way this one looks better. See? See, but it's already set. I thought it was going to be more watery. So let's put them side by side. This is the one that was steamed. And, you know, I don't know if it's looking dry on the camera, but it's not feeling dry in the fork, okay? And this one. I like the weight of both of them. So, of course, I'm going to come back maybe a half hour from now. I'm going to open 2 new ones that have had time to cool down, all right? And we'll see if there's a difference. So I'm going to leave these open. I'm just going to do like this. And do like that. Set it aside. And later on, we're going to come back and open after it's cooled down. First of all, let me show you. See this one? This was actually starting to burn. I'm glad that I was here monitoring that steam one. I don't usually steam it, but you know, other people suggest, why don't you steam it? This is the steam one. I don't like the way it looks. It's kind of, I want to say more dry. This is definitely more moist. This is the one that was submerged in the water. And it's not gelatinous like the Belizean or the Yucatan tamales, okay guys? This is Ducunu. It's made from the corn on the cob, not the masa. And so it's not gelatinous. But this actually is pretty moist and awesome. And you can douse it with gravy, stewed chicken gravy, Belizean stewed chicken gravy, stewed beef gravy, or stewed pork gravy. You can douse that with it and it'll get really moist and probably get more gelatinous too. But this is the way that I know how to make it. So on this recipe, we went ahead and we used 1 less cup, 1 cup less of the cornmeal, and that makes a tremendous difference in making it more moist. And of course, like I said before, you could have traded out any can of those corn and make it the cream style corn, and it would have sweetened the Ducunu. So don't add any condensed milk like somebody asked me, okay? This is not meant to be a dessert. This is like a snack or a dinner type meal. So let me go ahead and taste. It's pretty good. So I hope I've succeeded in showing you some of the pitfalls that can happen with when you're making Ducunu. Always remember that when you're using corn from the can, that sometimes it'll come with less juice or water or whatever solution it's packed in. Sometimes it'll come with more. So you're going to have to compensate for that when you're adding your cornmeal mix, okay? And always remember to use the whole can of coconut milk, because that's what makes it taste so sweet and also gives some moisture to it. So I want you guys to comment, try it again, comment and let me know how your Ducunu comes out. In the future, we'll do it again, but we'll do it the old school way, to where we're going to grate the corn off the cob. Right now, corn on the cob is just too expensive for me to go buy that and try it right now. But in the future, we will, when summertime comes and it's cheaper, all right? Thank you guys so much for watching, for sharing, for buying the book, and for subscribing. Until I see you again, take care. Okay, so it's tasting time. I wish you guys were here with me. You know, when I'm doing the show and it comes time to taste the food, that's when I wish that I wasn't just talking to a camera and then you guys see me. I wish you were actually here so we could taste this. And remember, you guys, when I did that Ask Me Anything, when I did the answers, I've told you people who live in the LA area or close enough to LA. If you're in Downey, if you're in, what's that place, Palmdale, Lancaster, and, you know, coming out into the Inland Empire, and you don't mind taking a drive and going down to my dad's store one of these days. His store is at San Pedro and Slauson. If you don't mind coming out there and meet me one Saturday, we'll come out there, we'll chill. I'll do a book signing. You guys can pick up a big book from my dad if you want to, pick up some groceries, and we'll see if we can't make some food. You know, some little foods like this, not just big meals, but food. It's up to you. Go ahead and let me know, all right?